And then it became like straight up throwing blows. Like there was a cup that was thrown across the deck and it hit someone in the face, and then there was blood, and it just was kind of insane. All right, y'all, so we are starting off today with some fun in the pool. I haven't really done that yet. I've been out by the pool, I've lounged and chilled and stuff, but I think today I'm gonna actually get in, which that'll be awesome. So yeah, sea day, nothing really crazy planned. I took a picture of the planner, so I'll check that out while we're down there by the pool, but up there by the pool. But anyway, I'm meeting my table mates, and you know, we're gonna get wet, maybe do the water slide, all that stuff. So yeah, we'll talk soon.
So I went up to the buffet and served myself a plate of, whatever I could find, and then I followed that off with some ice cream. The soft serve on the Divina is included, and it's unlimited, and I do love me some vanilla soft serve. And then I met up with my table mates and friends, and we went out to the water slide. I actually went down, and I managed not to get stuck, although it was a lot slower than I was expecting it to be. And then from there, we went out to the garden bar and swam in the back pool for a little bit, had some drinks, all of that stuff. I even had a Miami Vice, which is, a personal favorite of mine when I'm feeling beachy and tropical and whatever, when I'm not too busy having gallons of beer and a boatload of old fashions. And then from there we made our way over to the Serenity pool because we wanted to chill in there for a little bit. At this point the water was really calm and chill, and I just loved the way it looked around us as the sun started to set. But so I parted ways with my friends because I needed to go shower and get ready for dinner and all of that. So I left the upper decks and made my way back down to my room.
All right, y'all, so pool fun and games was so much fun this afternoon. I'm glad we did that. Shout out to Brittany and Michael and CJ for hanging out with me on the pool, and CJ's sister Sky and her boyfriend Elijah as well were there. So good afternoon, I would say. And now it's dinner time. It's supposed to be the elegant night. Look, I've been on MSC cruises in the past. As you know, this is my 5th MSC cruise, but all of my other sailings have been shorter. So when I did the 5-night on the Meraviglia, we had a formal night and the white party. On the 4 nights and the 3 nights, they don't have the formal night, instead just have the white party. On the 7 nights, from what I understand, you have the white party and 1 formal night, just like on the 5-night cruises. On this cruise, which is unique and is 12 nights long, there are 2 formal nights and the white night, which I've missed because reasons that you already know if you've been watching this series. So yeah, so this is as fancy as I'm gonna get. I love playing dress up. Definitely not opposed to the concept of looking good for dinner and having a fancier menu and that kind of stuff. The problem is, since we've already done a formal night on this cruise, it's kind of like this one feels a little forced, and also not everyone participates. Like, if you've seen some of my former cruise vlogs and stuff, series is I have dressed to the nines, bow ties, like the whole nine, and not very many people do that. So it's kind of not fun to be the only one. And this is perfectly fine. They'll let me in and won't even, bat an eye. So it's okay. I don't know, that felt like a rant. It wasn't. Just kind of giving my thoughts on the matter. I think that instead of having a second elegant night on this cruise, tonight should have been Halloween, and we should have dressed in costume to dinner tonight. But I'm not in charge of that kind of stuff. So yeah. There is a Halloween event happening, organized by that Facebook group I was in, but it's kind of up in the air right now. It was supposed to be tonight, but now that it's the elegant night, they're kind of like, I don't know if a lot of people are going to show up. So I have a feeling it's going to get pushed back, and that's okay. If it does get rescheduled, I'll go. If it stays tonight, I'm not going to do it. So anyway, dinner time. I'm hungry, definitely. And I've rambled on for quite a long time. So yeah, we'll talk soon.
I had a little bit of time to kill before dinner, so I made my way around the ship and kind of explored places that I hadn't been yet, at least not on this sailing. The MSC Divina has all kinds of shops and stuff, and so I looked through those and whatever, but I ultimately ended up in the lobby atrium, because that's where I like to hang out and wait for stuff, because there's almost always musical entertainment in there, and it just has a chill, relaxing vibe. But within 15-20 minutes or so, it was time for dinner.
Hi friends, so we just finished the show. I thought I'd seen that one before, but this one was different than the one I was thinking of, so either they changed some things or it's a different show completely, but either way, it was nice, it was pretty, singing and dancing based. They brought out their, cast of singers and stuff. Costumes were really good. But yeah, I think we're going up to karaoke now, so that's gonna be the next thing on the agenda. What else? I think that's it. We'll talk soon.
We had a nice table on the main pool deck, but things got kind of strange towards the end of karaoke, which I'll explain more about here in a bit. But so we decided to go up to the nightclub to hang out and dance and all that. And we were having a good time as usual, but then things kind of took a turn for the weird up there as well. So after having a couple of drinks and talking things through, we decided to go out to the pool deck. It was a really nice night, so CJ, Michael, and I just kind of strolled around the pool deck for a little bit. But ultimately, we reached the point where we decided to call it a night, and so I made my way back down to my room.
All right, y'all. So first off, it is 4 a.m. It has been a day, let me tell you. I'm not actually sure how to break this down in a couple of minutes, but I'm gonna try. So if things get wonky and weird, bear with me, and if I cut in post-edit or something to explain some things, I apologize for the wonky format or whatever. But anyway, so we did the pool stuff earlier, and that was fun, and that seemed pretty normal. And then dinner was kind of where things went a little weird. So as I mentioned, tonight was the elegant night, and they were very much enforcing it, apparently, because both Brittany and Michael at my table, Brittany got full-on, asked to leave, and then Michael noticed that they were enforcing dress code and went and changed on his own. But Brittany, I felt so bad because they let her get in, basically to our table. And then, 5 of them, come up to her, you can't wear that, ma'am, get out kind of vibe. And super embarrassed her. It did say elegant on the paperwork and everything, but they didn't mention that at dinner last night, hey, heads up, tomorrow's elegant night, or they didn't mention anything at all today about it or, whatever. And so it was kind of an easy thing to overlook, especially since we've already had an elegant night on this sailing. So I think for most people, tonight's elegant night was not really wanted. But so she went up and changed and came back and, whatever. Well, a guy at our table got really, upset about it and wanted to defend her and stuff. And so he got all huffy with our table staff, and it got ugly for a minute. But we worked our way past that. But Brittany, I don't know if there was something else going on or what, but she definitely wasn't fully with us at dinner tonight, and I felt so bad for her. But literally the second she could leave, she left. She finished her dessert, last bite in her mouth. She's like, bye guys, and left, which, Brittany, if you're watching this, I'm sorry you had to go through all that. And then we went to the theater show. That was pretty normal. And then we went to karaoke. So karaoke was, for lack of a better way to describe it, kind of a mess. I was one of the first people up to the table to sign up. We got there about 20 minutes early. Me and Michael, and then CJ joined me later. These are all people I've met on board. It's not like these are people that who you should know already or anything, but cool people nonetheless. And so Michael and I got there early, and I went and put my name on the list and whatever. It was just a paper list that they were keeping, and you put like the artist name, the song title, and your name or something, those three components. And then they would look up the song and put it on the list or whatever. But when they wrote my name down, my name was first on the list. And she was like, okay, let me go check. And that meant to me that she was going into the computer system to check if they had the song I requested. And she never came back. So when the guy came out, he had a whole new list. And he asked me, what song I wanted. And I was like, oh, she already got me, but she said she was going to go check in the back. And he was like, oh, if she got you already, you're good. And I was like, but she never came back out. And he was like, well, if we don't have the song, we'll come get you. We'll call you up or whatever. Long story short, I never got called up. People who signed up after me got called, people who, and then all of a sudden they were like, this is the last song. And then, some guy came up to sing. And I was like, but what about me? Now, one thing I will say is that they haven't had karaoke at all this cruise. This is night 10 of 12. So, but from what we found out is that their computer broke or something, and they weren't able to repair or replace whatever they needed to do to it until we got to Panama. So the day before yesterday. And so, yeah, they haven't even had the ability to do karaoke, apparently. That's why they haven't done it. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt on that. Sorry, I have to rest my hand. I bought this fancy little, stand and everything and just barely use it, but anyway, so I got ignored, and everybody was looking at me like, are you gonna say something, blah blah blah. But I'm not trying to cause drama. It's just karaoke. Fine, I didn't get to go, whatever. So anyway, towards the end of karaoke, this girl picks a fight with this other girl, and then this other guy who was at my table, actually the guy who got mad about the dress code enforcement earlier, tried to stop her, and then she was slipping and sliding on the deck, and she took her over clothes off, and she was just wearing a bikini underneath, and there was no actual physicality there, other than the screaming and the shouting and the guy cutting in to sort of be the hero, I guess. And it was effective. He did actually stop her from fighting the other girl. Well, the other girl left, I guess. And so we all thought that was the end of it until about 20 minutes later, karaoke's over. We're all just kind of sitting there talking and chatting. And the other girl comes back. And then the two girls just start going at it. And the one girl who initially tried to, I guess, start the fight or whatever, I don't know the story, but from my perspective, the one who was the original problem, she actually got attacked by the other girl at this point. And then it became straight up throwing blows. There was a cup that was thrown across the deck and it hit someone in the face, and then there was blood, and it just was kind of insane. Very dramatic, and I don't think that the security response was what it should have been. And I'm not trying to diss anyone on MSC or Divina or anything, but I feel like the fact that they were able to remain there and not be have someone with their eyes on them, after the first time, and then the second time was able to happen and go for as long as it did, was kind of ridiculous. Yeah. There's one more part, so bear with me. So this is the part that I'm not sure exactly how to say, because it's not something I talk about on the internet very often. It's not a secret or anything that I'm a gay man, and I'm married and all of that stuff, but that kind of puts me in a weird position sometimes when I'm traveling solo, because some people don't really care about those things, like, relationships and boundaries. But anyway, so there was this guy, I think he's single, older gentleman, and he was pushing really hard at the nightclub to the point where I got, like, creeped out and uncomfortable by him. But he was drunk and, like, trying to flirt and all this stuff, so I didn't want to be, like, rude, I'll just be like, I'll laugh and smile and, whatever, and then at the end of the night, I'll just, ditch him, and no big deal. Well, then he almost got in a fight with another guy at the bar who I guess he was, like, checking out, and the other guy was straight and got real upset about this guy, like, looking at him. I don't know. And so it got real dramatic, and then I felt unsafe, and so I called it a night at that point. CJ and Michael and I left, and we walked around the pool deck and just kind of, chilled and unwound and whatever, and just kind of reflected on all the craziness. He asked me for my room number. He wanted to know exactly where I am. Turns out we're on the same floor, which is kind of scary. I didn't tell him my room number. I didn't even tell him. I lied about my floor. I told him I was on, deck 8, and I'm actually on 12. And so, if he finds me, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Like, if he knocks on my door, forget it. That's not going to be okay with me. Not to make any sort of comment about anything, but I feel like I got a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be a woman at a bar alone who's being kind of, like, preyed upon. And I didn't like that feeling. So, my girls out there, I got you. If you need me, I'll be your boyfriend, I'll be your husband, I'll be your brother, I'll, walk you to your car, all those things. Because people are crazy. Definitely not a dull day. I certainly had a good day overall, but it had its moments, as you can hear. And anyway, that's it for today. I'm actually not drunk. I did have a few drinks, but I've been pacing myself since I've been sick. And so, I've been having one drink every, like, hour and a half or so, just to make sure. And I've been having water in between and stuff, because I'm not trying to be, getting sick again or being hungover or any of that kind of stuff. So all this happened in a very sober state of consciousness for me, which is really kind of nuts. But anyway, I hope that wasn't too much for you all, but that's the reality of traveling places with people that you don't know and stuff. Sometimes you find some crazies out there. But I want to thank you all for traveling with me. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and y'all have a good night.